We have live team coverage for you, breaking down what's going on with the presidential race and the big races across our region. Thank you so much for choosing Channel 3 this morning. I'm Alexandra Montgomery.
And I'm Avery Powell. Stick around to hear from winners and losers about what's next.
I'm Melissa Borden in the newsroom. After a tight race between Molly Gray and Scott Milne, we're breaking down the results for you coming up.
A deeper look. Live in Burlington, I'm Kevin Geis. Coming up on Channel 3 this morning, a political expert breaks down the next steps of the presidential race.
Well, we've had plenty of winter weather over the last couple of days. We had a few flurries during the early part of the overnight. Now just a bunch of clouds out there, but those clouds are going to move away. We're going to bust out into sunshine this afternoon and warm things right up. Right now, a chilly start to the day. Upper 20s into the low 30s in most spots. Cold place. Saranac Lake at 19. Right now here in Burlington, we're at 33. The wind's picking up a little bit, making it feel like 25. But those winds bringing in warmer air. 50 degrees for a high today. Mostly sunny skies. And even warmer than that over the next few days. Stick around for the Max Advantage forecast in just a few.
From WCAX Channel 3, the Channel 3 News This Morning starts now.
Despite President Trump declaring victory early this morning and claiming fraud, it's a tight race for the White House with no clear winner. Here are the latest numbers in the presidential race from the Associated Press. This is the popular vote, and right now Joe Biden leads over President Trump, but it is close, 50% to 49%. But the popular vote doesn't determine who wins. The winner needs 270 electoral votes, and right now Biden is winning over President Trump, 238 to 213. Vermonters voted for Joe Biden for president by a wide margin. 66% want him to take the White House. And votes for the presidential election are still being counted across the country this morning. But overnight, President Trump expressed confidence that he won.
We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
I'm here to tell you tonight, we believe we're on track to win this election.
President Trump then attacked the process and said he'll go to court to challenge the results. As it stands, we're waiting on results now from some major battleground states like Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, and Michigan. Millions of early votes are still being counted, particularly in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. And as we wait for votes to come in and be tallied and the next president of the United States to be determined, Channel 3's Kevin Geis is live with a political strategist to talk about what got us here and what comes next.
Yeah, Avery, we are still waiting on those few states to tally their votes. Joining me now is Arshad Hassan, a political strategist. Arshad, good morning. What is the holdup on the presidential election?
There's no holdup. This is standard practice. So millions and millions of voters cast their ballots, many of them early, and now local election officials are going through the process of counting every single one. Some of them were counted on election day, but a huge number of those ballots, millions of them in swing states, still have to be counted.
Perfect. And how long can it take a state? So what kind of timeline are we working on here before they have to come up with their final tally?
Well, it depends, state by state. Some states were restricted and could not start their vote count until Election Day themselves. So that includes Pennsylvania, Michigan to some extent, Wisconsin to some extent. Some of them have different deadlines. So we can expect tallies from, for example, Pennsylvania. The Secretary of State says around Friday. Also, Wisconsin, Michigan, those states in particular are going to take days to count them. And then, of course, there'll be some ballots that will come in late, challenges, and so on.
Right. And why are some of those states that we're waiting on so key to the outcome of the election?
Well, we didn't know which way they will go. They're swing states, right? So they have numbers of Republicans and Democrats who will cast their votes. Because they've cast them early and because those states can't count them until literally Election Day and onward, we really don't know where they'll lie, where they'll fall.
Perfect. And what's the next step for each campaign this morning?
This is important. The campaigns are done. So voters around the country have been casting their votes for weeks. Campaigns can say whatever they want to campaign, and they have. Now it's the voters' sort of decisions that are all being counted. So the best thing that can happen is to let them be and let the voters have their decisions, their votes tallied up.
Perfect. Arshad, thank you. Coming up the next half hour, we will have more ballot breakdown with political strategist Arshad Hassan. For now, we are live in Burlington. Kevin Geis, Channel 3 this morning.
Thank you, Kevin. Molly Gray officially takes the title for Vermont's lieutenant governor seat, knocking out Republican Scott Milne. Our Alyssa Borden joins us live from the newsroom now to tell us more about the race results.
Avery, the AP called those results late last night. As of the latest numbers, it looks like Gray held on to about 52% of the vote versus Milne's 44%. Milne released a statement earlier this morning saying, quote, "I am honored by the tens of thousands of Vermonters who supported my candidacy. I send my sincere congratulations to Molly Gray on her victory this evening. I wish her success moving forward." Earlier in the day, Milne was optimistic that conservative voters would turn out to the polls, pushing him to victory later on in the night, but Gray's votes were greater. This is the third loss in the fight for public office for the Pomfret businessman who lost against Senator Leahy in 2016 and Governor Peter Shumlin in 2014. Milne said in addition to being a partner to Governor Scott, he thought his business experience would help him gain the support of Vermonters in this election.
And somebody with entrepreneurial experience, somebody with Vermont business experience, where all these Vermont small businesses that used to just survive on what happened inside your four walls and being embraced by your community now are competing with forces around the globe. I've got a business that's been competing with forces around the globe for 20 years and we've been successful.
Well, much less reaction on social media surrounding the Gray victory than Governor Scott's, but still the feelings are mixed. Jennifer Sumner says, quote, "Good job, you deserve it. Don't listen to the negative people. I believe in you and our state and hopefully our country." Dawn Pierre Corsi expressed concern that Gray hasn't voted in the last few elections. But in last night's victory speech, Gray expressed her plans to better Vermont and hit on her Vermont roots.
A lot of people asked, how did a first-time candidate come out of nowhere? I didn't come out of nowhere. I came from Newberry. I came from the University of Vermont and Vermont Law School. I came from Orange County and Four Corners Farm. I came from the communities where I've lived and worked throughout my life.
This victory makes Molly Gray the fourth woman in Vermont's history to become lieutenant governor. Gray said the campaign has been the honor of her life, naming all of the past Vermont governors who worked with a female lieutenant governor. Despite our best efforts, Molly Gray would not speak to us live this morning. Our team is planning several election follows today, so stick with Channel 3 for that. For now, reporting in the newsroom, Alyssa Borden, Channel 3 This Morning.
Thank you, Alyssa.